It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth
and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. And that's it.
Yeah, I was going to start talking about tacos, but I was like, he doesn't want to talk about the intro music this time, so...
Well, here's the thing. No.
Anyway.
That was the longest so I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were gonna do it. Yeah. And if you're gonna see our shorts, like our new short videos, these coming weeks is gonna have like whenever you say yeah on them, it's gonna have like what I think I added like a text graphic that just has like a bunch of H's.
Nice.
Going through the screen. It's just like yeah.
Is it like is it Office Space?
What?
Where it might not be Office Space. I can't remember the film, but there's the really boring boss. He's like, if I could have those reports on the end of my desk by
Sounds like our office.
Imagine if we got the one on the wheel that is talking about the office.
Right? Can you imagine? It's actually almost right on there.
Yeah.
See, it's pointing right at the on there, but we got to spin it.
But yeah, there's a famous scene where he comes up to his desk and he's got the cup of coffee and he's like, yeah, if I could have those reports on my desk by the end of the day, that'd be great.
That'd be great. That also reminds me, because like there was I don't know if you remember the channel Barely Political.
I don't think so, but I think we've talked about it before.
I don't think we have. So Barely Political is like one of those channels that are like now kind of extinct, right? They said that they were going to take an indefinite break 5 years ago, and then they never came back.
I mean, that is the point of an indefinite.
That's true. Yeah.
It means it's over.
Yeah. But yeah, so Barely Political used to rule YouTube with like music video parodies and stuff like that.
Fair.
And they had a skit series called Barely Air, right? So it was like this weird fictional airline that just had like nonstop jokes.
Fair.
Right? And it was talking about like how pilots speak. Right, and this one pilot.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Exactly. And then there was the captain was like, "Let me teach you." And then so he invites like the flight attendant to come in. He's like, "Can you get me a beer and sit on my lap?" And so the other pilot tries it on that flight attendant, and the flight attendant is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?
What are you saying?"
Yeah, but no, for the captain, whenever he talks like that, the flight attendant was like, "Oh my god, yeah, definitely, I'll get you a beer while we're flying," and everything like that.
It reminds me of, there was this show in England in like I think it was in the 80s, called LOLO. And it's a parody on the French resistance in World War II.
Oh.
And one of the main characters is a restaurant owner who's like harboring the French resistance.
Okay.
And so they're all English actors, but putting on fake French accents.
I see.
But there's a couple of episodes where they have British soldiers come in. So they're talking normally. And then one of them will be like, hang on, I need to translate to the English. Hello, chaps. How's it going today? And just put on a ridiculous English accent.
Jolly good. I think they bought it.
Well, and then the French people were just like, I don't know what is going on. What are they saying? It is completely ridiculous. So
it's funny that they speak English too, but just in a French
accent. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then there were the Germans as well, because obviously World War II, and they just had ridiculous German accents. It was
oh my
hilarious.
god.
Yep. So,
anyway,
so should we have some? I've forgotten what it's called again. Have some free wheel. That was what I was going to say.
I don't think we have a lot of free will, Nick, because philosophy and life and all that stuff.
What does it mean to have free will?
I don't know. But that could be for the thing. Remember we were discussing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shh.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's spin that free wheel.
Woo!
Woo! Nick, I think you're really gonna like this one. Drum roll, please. Oh, hold on.
Oh, is the band walked out again?
Yeah, I think they have.
Nice! It's the James Bond topic.
It's the James Bond topic. So, okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, 007. obviously, so I'm not well versed in a lot of the old James Bond films, right? Just like I'm not well versed with Doctor Who, especially the first series, right?
I am.
Yeah, you are. I think the first James Bond film that I saw was Goldfinger.
Fair. That's a
Right.
good one to start off on.
Yeah.
It's actually the anniversary of that film this year.
Is it?
Yeah, the 007.com is doing a Goldfinger special.
Of course you would be exploring 007.com.
I got
But-
emails about it.
But really, one of the only ones that I actually remember were obviously the most recent ones: No Time to Die,
Yep.
Spectre, and Skyfall.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah, so those ones, like, I remember the story clearly, but I remember watching Goldfinger not too long ago, and then I think I saw a trailer for Moonraker because I was like, oh my god, is James Bond an astronaut in this one?
Fair.
Yeah, so
Well, the idea for today was so I saw an article ages ago, and I've actually found it again this morning, of the Bond villain schemes ranked in in order of most ridiculous to most plausible.
yeah.
Because when you're watching the film, you don't actually sit down and think about the actual, plot of the villain.
No.
And then when you actually take a step back and think about it, it's like, what the hell is going
Yeah.
on here? So
I
I
mean-
wanted to explore some of them
Yeah.
to see how
I mean,
ridiculous
obviously,
they are.
I think the coolest schemes are probably the most realistic ones. Like, for example, at the beginning of No Time to Die, right? Somebody, so James Bond and what was the name of the girl?
Madeline.
Madeline.
Yeah. Madeline Swan.
Yeah, Madeline Swan. They were like exploring this grave, and then suddenly there was a bomb that went off. Right?
You know why that grave was there, right?
Why?
It was the woman from Casino Royale, Vespa.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then it starts off like this whole chase where James Bond is inside an Aston Martin,
Of course.
right? That has missiles, or not really missiles. It's like more like machine guns installed in the headlights.
Well, you know the Aston Martin is from Goldfinger.
Yes, it is.
And do you know the story of how the Aston Martin became the historic James Bond car?
How?
So they originally, I believe they wanted it to be Jaguar. And Jaguar was asking for something ridiculous, like £1 million a day or something like that, which in the 60s, that was like...
Yeah, no.
At this point, so Dr. No One from Russia with Love had happened, but they still weren't well off. They still weren't wealthy.
Yeah.
And then Aston Martin came in and they're like, hey, we'll give it you for free. Just as long as we can have the advertising rights and, we get a cut
Precisely.
of the film. Yeah. And so Aston Martin became this iconic, especially the DB5, became this iconic car brand because of James Bond. And then Jaguar were just like, oh dear, we completely up.
Yeah, because James Bond already was a very famous franchise of books, like even back then.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I don't know why Jaguar would have any doubts that it would become a popular film franchise. I mean, historically, at least nowadays, books being translated into movies don't really do well. But back then, a lot of the books that were translated into movies, they typically become like blockbusters overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
it's a bit like, if someone had the opportunity to advertise in Game of Thrones, like it was already a hugely popular book series.
Yeah.
It was obviously going to be a hugely popular series.
Yeah.
Why would you not take the opportunity? It
Yeah.
would be stupid. And plus, what did Jaguar have to lose? All they had to do was give him a car.
Exactly.
They make the bloody things. It's
Yeah.
not like they're going to miss one.
Yeah. It's not
Like-
like those, the damage on that car is going to be real anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe back then, right?
Yeah, back then,
Yeah,
probably.
it has like practical effects, but
Yeah.
still, right? It's one car.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
If Aston Martin had let James Bond, destroy, like, I mean, even with the bulletproof windows, like they were shooting at those windows.
Yeah.
Right.
When I think normally, from what I understand, I think there's normally 7 cars, at least in the modern films.
Okay.
Because they have to have some of them, because obviously, like in Casino Royale, they broke the record for the most flips that a car did.
Okay.
I don't know if they still hold it, because then Fast and Furious came out and, Fast and Furious did
Fast and Furious
things.
is always breaking records, man.
Yeah,
It's nothing
so
new.
I don't know if the record still holds, but at that point, when it came out in 2007,
Yes.
because they did, I think it was 9 consecutive flips.
I think so. It's like I thought they did like 12 or something.
It's a ridiculous amount anyway.
Yeah, but it's definitely. I feel like it's double digits.
But then obviously you can't use that car anymore because you've just flipped it.
No, really. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, when you get into a car accident where your car flips 12 times, I think you can still use it. You can still salvage it.
Well, but then again, I probably can't use myself at that point because I'm not James Bond.
Yeah. James Bond seems to defy death except for this last one.
Shh, spoilers.
Dude, it's been like, what, 4 years?
So we could convince some people to go and watch it.
Oh my God. Okay.
So let's start with the one that you've seen the trailer for.
Okay.
Which is Moonraker.
Okay.
So Hugo Drax. So the plan, and I'm going to read it. So this article is by ranker.com. And let me see if I can find the author.
Okay.
Mike Rothschild. So credit to Mike Rothschild.
Okay.
So, the plan. From his giant space station orbiting high above the Earth, industrial tycoon and eugenicist, Hugo Drax seeks to wipe out the entire human race using a deadly toxin engineered from a rare orchid. Once the planet is cleansed of inferiors, Drax and his master race will return and repopulate the world.
Is he a Slovene by any chance?
No, Doctor Who reference.
Doctor Who reference.
I mean, I don't know. If anyone's going to look like a Slovene, he does look kind of Slovene.
He does. He does, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I like how so there's two parts. There's the planet and then there's how crazy is it?
Okay.
It's beyond crazy.
Yeah, because, okay, so a space station that he built or that's already built?
Oh, he built it, yeah.
Okay.
So he built it with the express purpose of doing this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And is it like a space station that's like unrealistically large, or is it like a realistic space station?
Because it has to hold the people that are going to repopulate the Earth.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it has to be like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you have to have like it's that okay. Another Doctor Who reference in episode 7, they are on a space station where Nick's relative goes to floor 500. Is it that kind of space station where it's just like
you
massive?
haven't got to the end of the episode yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah,
it's not as big as that because that is like
so
as big as a planet.
Is it more like the space station like when they went to the year 5 billion?
Yes, that would be more apt. It's probably got like multiple thousands of people.
Okay.
But it's not got like millions.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but first off, it's not just ridiculous because of that. It's also ridiculous because it was in space in the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's like, man had just gone on the moon now, and now you're building a giant space station to house all these people. Yeah. So, and it's also got one of my favorite villains, but also most ridiculous, Jaws, who he also shows up in the next film we're going to talk about.
Okay.
And he is like 6'7". He's got a mouthful of metal teeth, and he just goes and bites people, hence why he's called Jaws.
So he's essentially Lil Jon.
Except if he was more violent.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of going on, oh no, that's Lil Wayne. I was going to say yeah.
Well,
that's Lil Wayne.
Well, I mean, both Lil Wayne and Lil Jon have like metallic teeth, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what reminded me.
Like that,
but they're not 6'7".
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's one of those characters that just will not die. Like, he keeps getting thrown out of buildings and like stuck in avalanches and all sorts of things. But he's like the
yeah, I know.
The opposite to James Bond, where James Bond can survive everything, this guy can survive everything. But whereas James Bond is usually like, lucky, this guy just gets up.
Yeah.
As if nothing hit him. He's like RoboCop.
So essentially,
like
I think a better person to compare him to is Juggernaut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except I don't think he ever says bitch.
Okay.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
So he's more polite.
He does only say 4 words in the entire 2 films he's in.
Of course he does.
Because he doesn't say anything.
Of course he does.
But he's also the only Bond actor that I've ever met. Richard Keel.
No way.
Yeah, and he was a gentle giant. He was lovely. He was a really nice guy. And he's absolutely massive.
When did you meet him?
I think I was like 12.
Damn.
But it was here in Vegas. It was a Planet Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
So although back then it was probably the Aladdin, but this is going back that far.
Man,
but,
I didn't know that the Planet Hollywood even had a different name.
Really?
Back then? No, I thought it was always Planet Hollywood because of how old it looks.
Yeah, no, it was the Aladdin beforehand, and then it rebranded to the Planet Hollywood.
The Jasmine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Jafar.
Yeah, the Jafar.
I will will show you the strip.
I mean, I think there was a video of somebody like riding the flying carpet. There's like a skateboard under it.
Nice.
Yeah, through the strip. I don't know if it's
Nice.
no, actually, I don't know if it's through the strip or through like LA, but there was
It was LA because that is the remote control one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that video.
Nice.
Yeah, it was in LA.
Yeah.
So Richard Keel, it was a bit like, when you're a kid and you go to shake an adult's hand and your hand just gets completely enveloped. That's how mine was. And I was 12, but at the same time, it was like, there's a picture somewhere of, so he's got his, like, one hand on top of my head and one hand on my chin.
Damn.
And his hands are, like, as big as my head.
Wow.
He's a massive, massive
So
bloke.
he was holding your head like a football.
Indeed.
Ah.
Like an American football. But like I said, he was a very nice guy. He was a gentle giant. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, so moving on to the other film that he's in, The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay.
So, anarchist shipping kingpin, which already is a ridiculous sentence.
Is that a name or?
Anarchist shipping kingpin Karl Stromberg
Okay.
steals 2 nuclear submarines from the UK and the Soviet Union.
Oh.
He plans to use their missiles to nuke the superpowers who will blame each other and finish the job. He's also constructed a massive underwater city to house the new society that will arise from the ashes of the world he's destroyed, riding out World War III safely under the sea. Under the sea.
Okay, so this is one that you already told me, full disclosure, right?
Yeah.
An underwater city.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's going to get 2 countries to nuke each other and pretend that they did it.
Okay. I can't even like wrap my head or even begin to like wrap my head around that kind of plan.
But here's the thing. It's objectively a great film.
Of course, it's The Spy Who Loved Me is I mean, it's quoted like on the daily by James Bond fans.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right? Even by regular people.
I mean, even the theme song, it's Nobody Does It Better.
Yeah. So, so I guess, if it's a good film objectively, right? Like, and James Bond definitely, the way he stops it is probably just as ridiculous.
Oh, 100%.
Still, right? Like, what's your plan there? Like, once your little underwater city is discovered,
Yeah.
what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And does he think that, you can't nuke an underwater city?
Well, but that's the thing is he's doing it with the intention that the countries will finish the job and he just sits there while everything's happening.
Okay.
So because that's the thing, the countries don't know what's happened.
Oh, okay.
It's James Bond has discovered the plan.
I see.
So it's like he has to stop them before the nukes go off because then he can, tell these countries, hey, your nuclear submarines are over here. This guy stole them,
Well, okay. What is this guy's goal anyway? After the countries have nuked each other and the country's in ruins, the world is like in a nuclear winter. What's next?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the...
what does he have to gain?
It's like the underpants gnomes from South Park. Is step 1, we steal the underwear. Step 2, step 3, profit.
Step 1, make a podcast.
Yep.
Step 2, Step 3, profit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. And I think it's because he's an anarchist. I think it's one of those where he just wants anarchy. And, he's going to, very similar to Hugo Drax.
Yeah.
I was getting stuck on Game of Thrones then with Khal Drogo. With Hugo Drax.
Yeah.
He wants to rebuild the world in his image. I think that's what Karl Stromberg wants to do.
Well,
even though this film came out first, but still.
The thing is, like, if you put on a full scale nuclear war, we're gonna be in a nuclear winter so bad
100%.
that like every human is probably gonna die off before you can even establish anything.
Well, that's why he wants to build his own underwater city.
So instead of like repopulating the Earth with a space station, he's gonna repopulate the Earth with an underwater city.
Exactly.
Is it?
It's the same but different.
By any chance, is that city called Atlantis?
No, I think it was called Nautilus.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm at least 80% sure it wasn't Atlantis.
I'm disappointed.
Disappointed. So the next one, we're moving on to A View to a Kill.
Sure.
And this is where we introduce Christopher Walken.
Ooh.
Who played Max Zorin, who is generally considered to be one of the best James Bond villains. And there's a scene where there's a blimp over the Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most famous James Bond scenes in history. So his plan. Genetically engineered by the Nazis and employed by the KGB.
Already, that sounds weird. Okay.
Super rich industrial guy, Zorin plots to detonate a huge bomb under a key junction in California's fault lines, flooding Silicon Valley and leaving him as the world's sole manufacturer of microchips.
Okay.
I told you, when you look at these plans objectively, like to quote, I've forgotten his name again, Mike Rothschild, Zorin is certifiably nuts.
He is, because, that plan, first of all, is going to fail immediately because he forgets about the fact that Silicon Valley is not the only place where they manufacture microchips.
Yeah.
Second...
Well, but then again, this was the 80s.
That's true.
So it was the main manufacturer of microchips.
Well, I mean, Idaho's potato chips.
So it's like, so I'm going to move on to the next one, just because again, and I also I love the way that he's written the plan.
Okay.
So it's the villain is unnamed Asian country and you only live twice.
Okay.
An anonymous Asian empire, in brackets, i.e. China, hopes to provoke World War III between the US and Russia and employ Spectre to orchestrate the theft of their space capsules using a volcano rocket base in Japan. They'll blame each other, out come the nukes, and not China, but totally China will be victorious.
Gee, I wonder why they said they hinted at China.
Oh, but not China.
Yeah, but not China. Yeah, this is totally not China, man. I think it's probably some legal issues if they actually mention China, because that James Franco movie, The Interview, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. North Korea leaked all the information of the staffers at Sony Pictures, and I guess they kind of took an extra precaution because China. We trade with China a lot.
Yep.
Too much, in my opinion.
Yep.
But, they're afraid that they might retaliate.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where,
but it's
going
so
off topic
obvious.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Our reliance on China is a bit like our personal reliance on these technological companies.
That's true.
And it's like, our over-reliance on the internet and things like that, which, don't get me wrong, I love the internet. We're talking to you through the internet right now. I love the internet. I'm watching the Champions League through the internet right now.
And it's owned by Van Staten.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Doctor Who reference.
Yes.
We should have a thing on our soundboard, They have the Doctor Who theme play for like 10 seconds.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, but the over-reliance on one thing means you're overly reliant on it. Yeah. And it's like, if you get your water from one source, what happens when that source dries up?
Yeah. And that's why a lot of companies like to monopolize. Like, for example,
100%.
LaCroix, I think, is owned by PepsiCo.
Probably.
Right? Is it?
Let's do some live research.
I mean, it probably is not going to say.
Drum roll, please.
Okay. Hold on. Where's the there?
Oh, it seems to be their own thing. Distributed by LaCroix Beverages. Oh, a national beverage company. A national beverage company is a what's it called?
Is a company that is distributing national beverages. Yeah.
No, it's a bit like
this episode is sponsored by LaCroix.
By National Beverage Company. It's a bit like PepsiCo or like Nabisco or something like that. So anyway, because we haven't pissed off the Asian subcontinent enough, General Moon in Die Another Day.
Oh no, General Moon. Oh no, that already sounds. Yeah.
Presumed dead at the hands of Bond, Moon receives a DNA transplant and assumes the identity of a British playboy. In plain sight, he plots to design, build, and launch an enormous laser-wielding satellite in order to carve a path through Korea's mine-laden demilitarized zone, allowing North Korea to invade and conquer the South.
No.
This came out in 2002.
Do they not know that the demilitarized zone, or DMZ, has 1 million landmines as of right now, and they're adding several more million.
That's why they're blowing them up with a laser. Did you not hear the plot, Gerard?
Well, still, right? Because, okay, so you blow a laser through the DMZ, right? Does that mean like you're just gonna carve a path like across the entire DMZ?
Yeah, so it's clearing the mines so that the North can invade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, why would the... no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because first of all, the South is probably going to invade first if that ever happens. You know why? Because the United States has a joint military with South Korea, right? Even if this came out in 2002, that pact has already been established after the Korean War, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when like the borders, the barriers are opened, right? But it's not like either country is gonna go first, right? It's not like the DMZ is the only thing stopping them, because there's literally a point in the DMZ called the JSA, right? Joint Security Area.
Yeah.
And both countries have gone into that area for diplomatic talks.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
where Bond gets released at the beginning of the film after he gets captured and tortured for 14 months.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, we're just gonna skip over the torture part.
Yeah, because it happens over the opening credits
Yeah, but there's already...
while the song is playing, which is an objectively a good song.
Yeah, but there's already I mean, granted, it's heavily guarded, yeah, but there's literally the border runs over like a concrete like slab, concrete like curb, right? And there's like a couple of guards each, so somebody could have easily just ran over there. If North Korea definitely decides to like invade South Korea, they could easily just turn their guards around and start invading.
Well, but as soon as they start shooting, the entire South Korean military is going to be on the doorstep.
That's true. But still, you don't need a laser.
Plus, as soon as the North Korean military starts mobilizing, the South Koreans are going to be like, "Oh shit, let's start mobilizing first."
But here's the thing: I don't think you need a laser to carve a path through the
Gerard,
entire.
these plans are ridiculous. Do you want to hear another one?
Sure.
So here's another one that you've seen.
Here's the thing, right? Is it? Let me try to like take a guess. Right? Is this a person who's genetically modified?
No, actually.
Oh, okay. That's a relief.
But I'm not even going to tell you the name of the film. I want you to guess.
Okay.
Gold magnate and golf cheat.
Okay.
Auric Goldfinger devises Operation Grand Slam to detonate a nuclear bomb inside Fort Knox, radiating its gold reserves and making his own supply priceless. The Chinese government and the American mafia are in on it too.
That sounds like Casino Royale.
No, Casino Royale's different.
Oh, okay. So
Well, let's find Casino Royale's plot and go through it.
no, actually, no. That sounds more like From Russia with Love. Yeah, that sounds right.
You haven't seen From Russia with Love.
I haven't.
Here we go. Le Chiffre in Casino Royale.
Okay.
International arms dealer Le Chiffre stages a high-stakes poker game to win back money he lost for terrorist clients.
Okay.
How'd he lose it? Bond foiled his scheme to short the stock of an airline whose experimental plane Le Chiffre was trying to destroy. The game is all part of a scheme by both Le Chiffre and another villain, Mr. White, on behalf of an unknown but definitely known criminal organization, because it's called Spectre. No, at that point it was unknown, but it wasn't really unknown because if you'd seen any of the other films, it was obviously Spectre.
Spectre has been there since the beginning of time, man.
Basically.
Yeah.
So the other ones I wanted to get into are more recent ones as well. So Alec Trevelyan in GoldenEye.
Okay.
Disgruntled former MI6 agent Alec Trevelyan is captured by the KGB on a mission in the Soviet Union, then hatches a plot to steal an EMP-proof Tiger helicopter, nab the EMP-firing GoldenEye satellite, hack into the Bank of England, steal its money, then use the GoldenEye to destroy the bank and wipe out England's economy, which will avenge the betrayal of his Lien's Cossack parents who were sent to their deaths by England after World War II. Follow all that?
What does Leanne have to do with this?
Lien's Cossack.
Yeah, what does she have to do with this?
Apparently a lot, because she wants to EMP the Bank of England.
Oh my god. Okay.
Next one is The World Is Not Enough. We're doing a lot of Pierce Brosnan ones here.
Yeah.
So
of course, Pierce Brosnan would be the one to headline one of the most ridiculous plots in James Bond.
Yeah. Well, he's had two so far because we had GoldenEye and Die Another Day.
And he's a ridiculous James Bond, a ridiculous choice for James Bond. I'm just saying, hot take. He's a ridiculous choice for James Bond.
How so?
Because...
Well, you got to back it up.
Because. Continue.
No.
Because. No, continue.
No, I'm not going to continue.
No,
we
because-
can sit here for a 3-hour episode if you want.
No.
Here's a question I will ask.
Okay.
Have you seen any of the Pierce Brosnan James Bonds?
I have not.
Exactly. So, shh.
Okay. Fine.
You don't get to have an opinion until you've watched it. If you watch all of them and then you still have the same opinion, then fair.
Okay.
But you have to watch them first.
Fine. Okay. I don't even know where I can watch them.
I think it's on Amazon.
Streaming
Prime.
now on Amazon. But no, I'm just kidding.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
So, Electra King / Renard in the world is not enough. Oil heiress Electra King is seemingly being hunted by a madman Renard, but it turns out they're actually working together to get revenge on MI6 and detonate stolen plutonium in a Russian submarine berthed in Istanbul.
Okay.
The explosion will destroy Russia's pipelines in the area, leaving King in total control of a massive oil supply.
Okay, that's fair because
That one's actually
oil,
not that ridiculous.
Yeah, because oil is a massive, a massive thing. That's what she said for countries because that's actually quite fair, right? It's not as ridiculous as I'm the only microchip manufacturer, or I want to be an oil tycoon is more more realistic, I think.
Oh, damn, they don't have the plot of Tomorrow Never Dies. That's
Because-
a shame, because that one's utterly ridiculous.
I guess tomorrow does die. Hey.
Yeah, no,
Well,
the
I
list
mean-
only goes up to 20, and there's 25 films. So,
If you remember Tomorrow Never Dies, you can just describe it.
well, I'm trying to describe it as succinctly as
Trying to destroy.
me. Never.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not on here. Why is it not here?
Wah wah. Oh wait. You're delayed again, band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's do this one.
Okay.
So this is the film synopsis that comes up when you Google film synopsis.
Okay.
Media mogul Elliot Carver, who's Jonathan Pryce. He's the head of the crazy religious people in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were called. The Seven.
The Tony
Is that what they're called?
Starks.
No, in Game of Thrones. Wait. No, the Starks are at Winterfell.
Oh.
Even Tony. That's where Avengers Tower is.
Okay.
But no, that's that actor.
Okay.
Wants his news empire to reach every country on the globe, but the Chinese government will not allow him to broadcast there. Carver doesn't take no for an answer and plans to use his media empires to fuel flames of war between the Western world and China.
Oh no.
Thankfully, James Bond is onto the insane news tycoon and travels to China to stop him with the help of Chinese secret agent Wei Lin.
Okay.
So basically, he's going to start World War III because he wants to broadcast his news inside of China.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? What is his news? Is his news really that important that he needs to?
Well, no, he owns a news broadcasting company. So it'd basically be like if, what's his name? Rupert Murdoch
Oh yeah.
was even more evil than he actually is,
Yeah. Okay.
which is pretty evil. It just, as far as we know, he hasn't tried to blow up China
Or start World War III
yet.
just to get. We said in episode 5, if the FBI or the CIA is watching this.
Then you have more reason to, but please don't.
Yeah, please don't.
These are just James Bond, just the summaries.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, that's I think. Yeah, that's probably like one of the more ridiculous things because it's just so petty.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think what makes it ridiculous is how petty it is.
Yeah.
You know.
won't let me broadcast? Fine, go to war.
Yeah. And even worse when they don't even have an end goal, like the underwater city guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, at least they had a plan. Goldfinger wanted his gold to be priceless.
Yeah.
Zorin wanted his microchips to be worth some money.
Oh my God. And then the guy's just like, let me build fucking Atlantis.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The world goes to war. That's it.
Well, so he's going to start a war because he sinks a British ship that's in the in neutral territory near the South China Sea.
Okay.
But what he does is he uses this underwater saw to cut into the boat to make it sink. But then he blames it on the Chinese for blowing up the ship.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
But it is very interesting because it's like he figures out a way to skew the maps so it looks like the British had invaded Chinese territory, and that was why they were blown up.
See, like with that, like somebody with that level of control, right? And for some reason, the countries aren't seeing this as a red flag, right? Because it would seem like they just blew them up without any motive whatsoever, and they would somebody would be suspicious of that, right? Like, why did that happen? But no, they're just like, okay, we're gonna start a war now.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they forget the fact that in order for somebody to launch a war or like declare a war, especially in the U.S., like it has to go through like a million different layers. And I'm sure that his plan is like, oh, the president is going to command them to start a war.
Well, let's see. At that point, it would have been Bill Clinton. Do you think he would have gone to war that easily?
No.
He should have waited a couple of years for George Bush to get into power. Then he would have got the war he wanted.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't actually go to war after Bush's presidency.
I mean, we didn't have to because we were in the middle of a war in the beginning of it.
Yeah, but you know America, they like to stick their nose in everything, and I'm not surprised if we would have gone into another war in the middle of the war.
Well, we did. We went from Iraq to Afghanistan.
No, I meant like somewhere outside the Middle East.
Oh,
Like
I see.
they would be just like, you know what? I feel like launching a war against Paris. Sure.
I'm for that. It's the French.
Okay. What if they were like, I feel like launching a war against the United Kingdom? Are you doing like
would just
weird
be revenge
ASMR, man?
for-
You're scratching your
Sorry, I didn't realize I was that close to the... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the Diamonds Are Forever one because that's a good one to end on.
Let me see. Is
If
it
it's
about
there.
diamonds?
They last forever.
Do they?
Ernst Stavro Blofeld gives it one last try with a complicated scheme to smuggle diamonds out of Amsterdam to a giant laboratory in Las Vegas.
Ooh,
Where he's
okay.
building a satellite that will use the diamonds to focus a super laser
Oh, no.
with which to hold the world ransom.
Here we are again with the lasers.
Blofeld also uses clones and plastic surgery to disguise himself.
No. You can't use plastic surgery to disguise yourself.
And clones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, clones maybe, right? But plastic surgery, no. Just ask Kim Kardashian.
Fair.
Oh man!
What do you mean she was a star of a super famous video?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Self-produced.
Yeah, you can call it that. Sure.
I mean, was it a video? Was it super famous? Was it self-produced?
I'd rather like not remember it personally.
Anyway,
Well, that's an amazing thing to end on, and of course, it has the classic James Bond villain schemes. There's a laser. There's alterations to your DNA, I guess.
When you can also see where Dr. Evil's plot in the first Austin Powers came from. It was based in Vegas.
I don't watch Austin Powers.
Oh my god, you
I'm
fucking
sorry.
hooligan!
I'm sorry.
I swear, this guy. I had to like point a gun to his head to get him to watch Doctor Who, and now he's addicted. See, my recommendations are good. You need to watch all of the things I tell you.
Okay, fine. Granted, I'm only on episode 7 of Doctor Who.
Of 452 million and 12.
Yeah. Actually, it's 452,000,013.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like what's that really long anime? Is it One Piece?
Yeah, it's like 900 plus episodes. I think it's at 1,000 now.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I prefer like Sherlock, which was the modern iteration of Sherlock Holmes that had 9 episodes. It had 3 seasons of 3 episodes.
I also
and there was
prefer-
literally like 4 years between each season.
Yeah, I also prefer I prefer like really short series that have like hour and a half long episodes.
Well, to be fair, I don't prefer that because then when it's over, it's over.
That's true.
And I would like to get immersed in something.
Yeah.
It's just as a new watcher,
Yeah.
One Piece is just terrifying.
As a new watcher of Doctor Who, knowing that there's 14 seasons and then there's 26 seasons that came before it,
You're fine.
I'm on season 1, episode 7 of Christopher Eccleston's Doctor Who, and I don't know. I'm overwhelmed.
Damn it, he muted me.
See, I have a technique for that. Ooh, you know what? We should go over next time on Doctor Who. Next time we should go over like the craziest Doctor Who plots.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Although
'Cause,
they're
like,
all pretty crazy.
they are crazy, but like the aliens in London one, that one is like more like understandable because like the aliens have a motive. They want to like get rid of all life on Earth and then just sell the raw material that Earth is made out of, right? That's not too ridiculous because that's something that feels like aliens would
Could be
actually
feasible.
do. Yeah. In terms of the year 5 billion with what was it like
Cassandra.
Cassandra. Yeah, so Cassandra
Moisturizing me.
yeah, that one's ridiculous. In terms of like, oh god, what was it? No, the Dalek one was really good.
Yeah. Although the Daleks are an interesting case because they're just pure evil.
Yeah, but like the episode. This has turned into a Doctor Who discussion. The episode where they introduced the Daleks, which is episode 5 of the reboot, right?
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. They showed that the Daleks can change their mind and they can feel like empathy and sympathy. And like at the end of it, the Dalek just commanded Rose Tyler to say like, make me kill myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very, very sad episode.
Yeah. And even though like the Daleks are naturally like just evil, right?
Yeah.
In our eyes, at least, in the Doctor's eyes, right? The fact that Rose Tyler was like, this Dalek has changed. Are you?
Well, it's one of those things where, so the Daleks, and there's another race called the Cybermen, and they represent two different types of enemy, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's like with the Daleks, their whole MO is to take over the universe. Because that's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're programmed
from there, well, that's not what they're programmed to do.
Okay.
The Cybermen are programmed to kill.
Oh, okay.
But the Daleks, that's what their MO is. But
Okay.
the common denominator is, from their point of view, they're the good guys. So it's
true.
like through history, and there's a famous quote, and it's like, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. And it's true. It's like, from their point of view, they're doing the right thing because it's right for their people. Whereas
like
the
that.
Cybermen, the Cybermen are programmed to do it, and they're trying to make everyone else into Cybermen because that's what their programming tells them to do. And it's like, are they wrong,
true.
or are they just doing what they're programmed to do?
It's
so it's a
kinda
very
like-
philosophical argument of like, who's in the right here?
That's true. It's kind of like when Alistair Moody in the 4th Harry Potter said, a lot of wizards have claimed they've only done who's bidding under the Imperious Curse.
Yeah.
How do we separate the liars?
Exactly. It's true. It's 100% true. And, it's like if you take a real world example with World War II, it's like, in June 1945, when Hitler was defeated and Germany came back, the Nazis were still there.
Yeah.
And it's like, so how many people were just doing it because they believed in Germany? How many people were doing it because they didn't want to, get killed?
Yeah.
And how many people were actually Nazis?
Yeah.
That's
true.
So,
Well-
and that's the conundrum of the Daleks and the Cybermen and the Doctor.
Well, on that wonderful philosophical note, right?
I have a question.
I was.
I'm
gonna
actually
ask
ready
you.
this time. I'm ready.
Okay, what is your question of the week, Nicholas?
What is the most ridiculous villain plot that you've ever seen in media? It doesn't
media.
matter if it's, TV, film, in a book.
I think one person has got to reference Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I was going to say, is it Dr. Doofenshmirtz?
He plans to take. Okay, so one time I think the most ridiculous plot he's ever like come up with was what's it called? It was so he was like trying to get some like a pickup order, right? And the waiter couldn't get his name right. He's like, yeah. So he's like, I'm mad that nobody can seem to pronounce the name Doofenshmirtz. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna collect all the aerosol spray cans throughout the entire tri-state area. I'm gonna spray the letters of my name onto the atmosphere, and then it's gonna burn down onto the tri-state area because of like CFCs and like global warming and shit.
Yeah, the only one of his plots that I know is where he tried to put tinfoil over the entire of the eastern seaboard so that he could pull it apart with a
Reverse the
magnet or whatever it
rotation.
was. Yeah.
Well, that's not the only like ridiculous thing that he did like with planetary bodies. He also tried to rotate the moon so that the dark side is always facing the Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you know how the moon works. That's not how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so and the reason for this is because apparently his evilness goes down whenever there's a full moon. I'm like, I think you're just an old school romantic.
Or a werewolf.
That's true.
Yeah, Dr. Doofenshmirtz is definitely up there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just trying to think. Obviously, Gru's going to be up there for trying to steal the moon.
Tonight we are going to steal the moon. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I think that a lot of the James Bond ones are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they've got to be up there. Most of the plots of Mission Impossible are pretty ridiculous.
Duh.
Fast and Furious in space.
Oh my God.
Pretty ridiculous.
Power Rangers in space. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? Anything in space.
Pretty much.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I think the every villain is lemons plot from SpongeBob.
No.
That was pretty ridiculous.
Well, it's SpongeBob. It's always ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's evil. Every villain is lemons.
Oh my God.
I've already mentioned Austin Powers.
Well,
The plot from Johnny English. Have you ever seen Johnny English?
yes, of course.
Where he's
Rowan
trying to turn Britain into a prison and then become
Yep.
king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
So.
I mean, yeah. So those are just some examples. Leave us some of your favorite examples, and we'll see you guys next week with more ridiculous villains, I guess. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this has been a no.
Why not?
No.
Why not? It was a James Bond episode.
No. Stop it.
I'm holding your button hostage.
Okay, fine. All right, Nick, play us out.